So Grok Free is out, and it's not only the most uncensored AI out there, but apparently it's the best, based on the impartial Alan Marino. But let's just learn about it a little bit first. So we got advanced reasoning and problem solving, deep search. They all named the search or whatever, just deep thingy. This could be a bit of a checkmate to DeepSeek. What are they gonna name that thing? I guess it doesn't matter. They're automatically deep. We got the big brain mode. This feature on Grok makes the model generate a more comprehensive and well-researched response by spending more time to think on a query. Right. But do you wanna call it big brain? I'm not sure that is very representative. Responsible AI is the first chain of thought model that explains its thought process before responding. Huh? Well, first of all, that would be just blatantly untrue. Second of all, didn't Elon Musk, because I watched a video, this is just gonna be a much quicker version. Elon Musk essentially said that the chain of thought process is cut short and not entirely displayed because they want to avoid copycats. So essentially this means that if you want to see chain of thought, you should be looking at DeepSeek. Speed and computational power, yeah. Elon Musk spent a lot on this. So they did a solar system simulation. Also, they made a Tetris game. My bit of a nitpick here would be that these tests, these examples, always tend to show something in the initial stages. And that is not where the problem and the difficulty possibly lies with these AIs. So in the early stages, you might feel like a genius, possibly while using AI. But once you go deep and you have a lot of moving pieces, yeah, it could be like, I don't know, let me just do something obviously wrong. Now, this is not to take away anything, but a test like that would be more impressive to me. Instead of, wow, we did a calculator again or something. Benchmark performance, right? So Grok 3 Mini is about tying with Gemini 2 Pro V3. Keep in mind that's not R1. And Sonnet is not exactly impressive outside of coding and O4. So they deliberately left out O3, R1. So Grok 3 seems like a god among mortals, while leaving out the other gods. So, while impressive, it's a little bit self-serving. And we got the chat arena. We're gonna look at this. But the problem possibly is that the availability of Grok is currently to premium plus users of X paying like 40 bucks a month. So we got the leaderboard. And outside of me paying 40 bucks a month to use X, which I would rather pay not to use, we just have to take their word for it. But it does look impressive, and this is probably legit. So this is how it works, is that the users are given multiple options, and they pick their preference. And out of all the options, Grok 3, early Grok 3, was the most preferred option, which is dang impressive. As somewhat of a personal note, this definitely has a bit of a user experience leaning to it, because there could be models that are theoretically good, like O3 Mini here, but my experience is that the presentation usually leaves a lot to be desired. And it's a little concerning that a lot of models have very inconsistent ratings across various benchmarks, across various sites. So anyway, Grok 3 breaking 1400 ELO, very impressive. But let's just go more into detail, because we see that it's followed by Gemini 2 Flash Thinking and Gemini 2 Pro. And these are free to use, so you don't have to pay 40 bucks a month. And we can see that Grok 3 is in a league of its own, over one in every category. It's tying with some things. So Gemini 2 Flash is kind of losing style points also on coding, and Gemini 2 Pro is also kind of losing style points and also in math. And apparently even O4, the latest O4, is getting second place. I would give it like at third place at most, considering that it's clearly behind in many aspects to the ones we put at second place. But I guess we can also consider R1 here. It's, well, second place in many categories and first in many too. I think the price analysis is going to be pretty important because the previous Grok, Grok 2, came out to $2 in and $10 out. Now, that's kind of problematic. Also, you got to keep in mind that this is on an exponential chart. So this is 1 and this is 100. Old Grok is not even on this because it's too garbage. And new Grok is yet to be on it. But even assuming that it's going to be the same as the old Grok, so it's going to be about in this tier, near GPT 4.0, but of course the ranking is going to be a bit higher, so over here. So it could be okay. But gotta keep in mind that it's going to be still competing with options like DeepSeek R1 for 2.2 and Gemini Flash for 0.4. Currently, the field is pretty simple. You either use R1 or Flash, or if you really don't care about quality, then maybe the U-Lightning, I don't know about that, or Mistral for 0.1. But I would argue for most use cases, either it's going to be Flash or R1. Also, an interesting aspect that I will consider that it is more unlocked than other AIs. And personally, I kind of prefer that. Not because I want to ask inappropriate things, whatever is inappropriate, but sometimes you just ask normal things, or at least what I think is normal, and the AI is like, oh no, I'm not comfortable with that, I cannot answer. Which is just annoying and wastes your time. Or possibly even worse, it gives you an answer that is not right, but possibly it deems it to be more acceptable. So ultimately, quite obviously, other AIs added the censorship and the very careful answers because they were afraid of losing customers. And I'm kind of curious how this Grok style will work. Also, considering how the field looks right now, I'm not sure paid chats are meta. Because you gotta consider that Gemini 2 Flash Thinking is second place and effectively identical, except for coding. And if you care about coding, then I guess can use its brother, Gemini 2 Pro, that is good at coding. Even when it comes to something like generating images, you can just use Imagen by Google, which is the best and also free. You can use this endlessly. So personally, if a company would want their paid chat to be meta, then it would need to be much better. And API-wise, it's gotta be more about value, and I guess we're gonna see where Grok 3 lands. Personally, if they really want to be competitive with the Grok 3 price, they probably should price it at like 4 or something. So a little bit undercutting O3 Mini and O1 Mini, and obviously it's kind of better than R1. One thing you need to consider that currently Gemini 2 Flash Thinking is the second place. You currently cannot pay for it. You can use it like 1,500 times per day. But suppose they priced it near Flash, like even like double of that. Let's just put it over here. It would still invalidate everything to the right of it. So yeah, Grok 3 is pretty dang cool, but will it have a free and infinite chat and a reasonable API? We shall see.